Hello folks, Scott Grove here. Just going to hand you some more free guitar lessons. Why? Because I like to. I'm going to shove everything in the key of E this time, and it's going to be 99% based on country licks. If you want them to be rock or blues licks, they are 100% adaptable to that just by throwing a little more gain on it or just changing your attitude about the licks. Please feel free to take all these free licks and make them your own. Dissect them, turn them inside out, play them backwards, turn the distortion on, turn the gain on. Yes, I'm licking my fingers again. You all know the reason, so my picks will stick to me. Yes, I've tried every other kind of sticky pick, but keep coming back to these that don't stick. So I'm just going to toss a bunch of stuff in the key of E out there. If I've taught the lick before, so be it. Guess what? It was in a different key. So I just feel like doing them tonight, so I'm gonna. Okay, so let's check on today's weapon of choice. I love talking about the guitars easily as much as I do talking about everything else. And this one I don't think I've ever used this on a video. I don't know that I've ever played this guitar in the last 5 years since I purchased it. I've got a few of these. These are the old original G&L ASAT 3s. Okay, these are back when they were great and had the 3-bolt necks, which I love much more than the 4 bolts. And we have another mini switch here, which turns on the neck pickup, so that if you have just your bridge pickup and you want to get the telly sound by going bridge and neck, just flick the switch. Now we got bridge and neck. Okay, which makes sense if you have the 2 position, which gives you the bridge in the middle. Now if you flick the switch, okay, right now you're just the bridge in the middle. Typical Strat sound, which I love. Then you can just add in here. Now you got 3 pickups. So there's so much that can be done with these. They are much better than their Fender counterparts. Leo learned a thing or 2 or 20 or 30 by the time he got around to the G&L thing. So he learned that you didn't have to have strings going through the body. He learned that you didn't have to have weird ass bridges. He learned that 6 saddles were very important and your pickup did not need to be mounted inside of the plate. All wonderful things. And these are just some of the cooler axes around. Somebody had reminded me that I even had this and said, hey, play that. So, hey, I'm playing this. Okay, so again, today's licks are totally free, no charge. And just go to my website, which is clickable directly below this YouTube video if you're on YouTube. If you're on my website, you're already there and you're getting it for free. You don't owe me a dime. Just think about maybe picking up a couple pay videos sometime down the line. Okay, some of these licks today I'll use a pick, other ones I won't, and I will never do the hybrid thing where I'm using a pick and some fingers. Why? Because homie don't play that. I go one way or the other, but you feel free, of course, to do them any little way you want. I'm going to stick completely on totally squeaky clean sounds, just like you just heard. Okay, that type of sound through the whole video. No distortion, no overdrive, no nothing. Just quality guitar licks, and most of these will be old school sounding licks because they are the stuff that I like. And if you like the old school licks, cool. I'm not going way back to 1912 or anything with them, but you know, stuff that was cool in the 80s and 90s, around the time when I was actually out there in the trenches. Okay, so I'm going to stick everything in the key of E. I've done like 3,000 things in the key of A, so like I said again, if I happen to repeat a few that I did before, So, okay, these are just fun, free, and just cool stuff. And I'm using my Boss CS3 compressor, which is turned on, maxed out. People ask me what my settings are on it. I turn the volume up so it's just louder than without it. I turn my tone pretty much straight up, or at 1 o'clock. I take the attack and I shut it completely off and turn the sustain wide open. Again, the Boss CS3 compressor sustainer is the only compressor in the world that has a sustainer built in. So it will keep your, it'll do everything a regular compressor does, but it will add sustain to your stuff to the extreme where no other pedal will, no matter how modded out it is. Okay, so the Keeleys aren't going to do this, folks, and the Wamplers aren't going to do this, and everything else. Okay, so in the key of E, let's start off with something cool and easy. First one is just a simple, and that's the best thing to do, is show you these simple licks that don't take long, that you can just toss in on stage tonight or in any song, anytime, and be safe with it. I think those are the best licks to ever teach anybody. Not some real long, complicated thing that takes forever. And these are just something that can be, like I said, bastardized and turned into your own. Okay, so this is simply the first one. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and use a pick this time. We're going to use the G, B, and E strings only. And the only thing I'm going to fret is the G string. 4, 3, 2, 1. What's that? 4, 3, 2, 1. Those are the number of the frets I'm going to play, just like tab. I'm going to play the 4th fret on the G string, 3rd, 2nd, and 1st, and open. Okay, and that's it. Everything else is going to be open that I mentioned, which are your E and B string. And then, yep, 4th fret is a B again. So what I like to do a lot of times is this. Okay, and the other way. These are cool ways to create some tension and just good old school licks. Okay, so simply know that we're just playing. I'm going from 2 to 4, then E, B coming up, then 3, great tension, that 3rd fret, 3, 2, then open and hammer onto the 1st fret, and then up. Okay, what's so cool about that? Just that. Okay, if you haven't thought about it before, there's a new lick. Okay, and you can always do so many things. Let me think these out for you. You can bend on the 2nd fret. So you can just simply start, instead of going, just bend it. Hit all 3 strings together, I don't care. Has a whole new dimension to it, doesn't it? Okay, so instead of, now you get, just release it a little bit at a time. If you feel like a muscle man and want to try to use a couple fingers, trust me, use a couple, go to the 1st fret, bend it. Do the whole thing on the 1st fret. I don't advise it, but you can. And if you are Superman, you can do the whole thing without using anything, as long as you're using a guitar such as this, which is designed properly with a straight string pull, nothing going weird and wobbly and off center and wrong way through the nut and going angles like Gibsons do, and you do not have a tilt back headstock, which is just ridiculous to have a tilt back, because now you have, and just number 1, just so it won't break, number 2, hey, it's bendy time, kids. top of the nut using 3 fingers. I won't even say anything about that. I'm sure you can get that one. But just grab it on there, and look, no string retainer. There is on the E and B, but not on the G. Okay, so all kinds of cool stuff to be had there. Okay, other things from that same thing that I like to use are just simple lead-in notes to that. Okay, these are going to be quick. Okay, so just simply 2. These numbers are like tab again. 2 meaning 2nd fret on the B string, 3 on the E string. Just bend them up, both of them. Okay, I'm using a Morley volume pedal, so if anything is creeping in, that's why I'm using the Morley with the compressor and nothing else but the Johnson Millennium JM150 modeling amplifier, long discontinued and set on a Fender Twin modeling preset with a little reverb, and that's it. Okay. Okay, so bend them up, bend them down. They're barely doing a half a step. Okay, both downstrokes. And then I like to go to unison E's by sliding from the D or the 3rd fret on the B string. Everything here will be on the B string now. So hit both strings, the E and the B, from the 3rd fret to the 5th fret, sliding on the B string. And then I'm going E string, B string, B string, 3rd, E string, now 2nd B string, E string, open, B string, E string. Now I'm just doing the hammer on to the 1st fret from open to 3rd, open to the 3rd string, 1st fret, and then simply 2nd fret on your D string. So okay. Add in your low ones if you want. And again, utilize bends. It's nice to use the D string, or the D note, I'm sorry. Okay. There's another way to use that. So I'm just going to keep throwing these at you as I think of them, and do the some of the what would we call these, variations, I guess, on these licks. So again, so let's do the bends now, from D up to E. Almost like Born to Be Wild, same lick. So for you guys who know that, utilize it. Now I'm going to use the 2nd fret, or your A note of the G string, to go up to unison B. So A up to B, and hit the B string and the E string. Just releasing it. Okay, and doing the same hammer on. Okay, so you see where I'm going. Okay, so you can go there. You can go up to the B, which I did by bending it. Any of this stuff is just cool. And then another one I like to use. If you get lost, rewind. I'm not going back. Okay? Not to be a peanut or nothing. It's just I think, and then I play, then I go. It gives you more licks. Okay, so. Big key here is let as many strings ring as you can. Okay, that. Then I just went. Okay. Here's where it gets kind of cool. Where you can just go with your middle finger on your A string, middle, okay, open, first, second, then while that's ringing, do the same thing with your first finger on the D string. So you have, then just your low E. Okay, I go back and I hit that B note, okay, so that's a nice little way to get some rhythm there. Okay, so notice that I did go back and hit that A string on the second fret for the B note. Again, slowly. Okay, a lot of people want to know about the neck bends. Yes, they're safe. Bolt-on necks are safe. Bolt-on necks are great. Bolt-on necks are superior. You can argue it all you want, but somebody else do that on a Les Paul. Have fun. I'm just doing that with my thumb. Okay, I'm just pushing out with my thumb, out towards the audience, and holding my fingerboard and pushing it in towards my thumb, so it's like I'm going like this, trying to actually bend, trying to snap the headstock off. Okay, you can always, for more extreme things, you get a little more of a bend by grabbing the top of the headstock with your hand, back of your hand, or the tips of your fingers right here on the back, and then push right here on the tally part or the strap part or any part of your guitar towards your belly as you're pushing out into the audience with your headstock. But of course your headstock can't go anywhere because you're putting counter pressure inward towards your body. So it just simply bends. You can get a good half step, sometimes a whole step, depending on the neck. And it always sounds best when you're doing such things to pick right back here by the bridge, which if you had a regular telly bridge with that stupid lip on the side of it, you couldn't do it because you can't get back there and play. You can't get your pick in between the string and the edge of your stupid bridge. That's where you get that classic sound. So if you end up with a bridge like this, I know you're tired of me talking about these bridges, but you get in there and you try to stick your pick in here, you hit this. You hit your bridge. You can't. It's a pain in the ass. So that's why I like that Fender realized the error of his ways later on in his life and created cooler guitars. Everybody will argue it, but so be it. Argue amongst yourselves, not with me, please. Okay, I'm just here for the licks. And to give you a little hell every now and then, because otherwise I would not be the cool guy I am. Okay, so now one of my other things that I really like to do, yeah, that's done. Go do what you want with it. Are the simple triplet, 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 triplet hammer-ons. which lead down to the same thing. I like to use them all the time, and I'll show you another way to get some more stuff out of these. Simple scales here, but everything is going to be open B, 2 notes hammered on, both of them, and then the open E string. So you got open B every time. So that one is open 10, 12, meaning the fret numbers, on the B string, then up on your high E. And it will be that way for all of them. They all will start with an open B, hammer on 2 notes, and then upstroke on the high E. Now the numbers are 9 and 10. Now 7 and 9. Now 5 and 7. Now 3 and 5. Now we're back to familiar territory. Okay, now that I've done so much stuff. Okay, I think I've got her back into a tune. Then okay, so you can see where this is all going. Okay, it's cool going upward too. Carry it on up if you want to. 12 and 14, 12 and 13, or I'm sorry, 14 and 15, or 14 and 16. Makes no difference depending on what you're going for. I like the 14 and 15. It gives you the blues scale instead of the major 7s, or the major scale. So that's 12 and, I'm sorry, 14 and 15. And then 15 and 17 gets you right back to E. Okay, I think we're there. Okay, so now from that, in the key of E, there is the oh, how do I want to put this? Let's do this. It's a right hand exercise. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. I'm thinking it too, but not with you. Okay? Everything that you've already done, do it without any picks at all. Okay? Okay? The hybrid picking does not allow you. Okay, the hybrid picking is when you're playing your pick here. Okay, so you're picking on your low notes or whatever, and then you're clawing away with your other fingers. A lot of people do it. Brad Paisley's the best at it. Well, I can't say the best, but he's probably is, but I just don't want to leave anybody out that deserves credit too. But because of slap bass players, and this is the style I play, 90% of the time I don't use a pick for anything. Work on just use your thumb. It is great. Nothing else gives you that kind of coolness. God, you had Wild Cherry did play that funky music. On a Les Paul, which made it even sound worse, so you had like no tone. that. But imagine if you had done it my way back in the day. Now that is some funky music, white boy. Now that's doing some real shizzle with the hizzle. Yes, I think it should be redone and done that way, not the, who the hell was that Vanilla Ice bullcrap that did the remake? Anyway, not real music, but, well, it was real to him, and now he's real broke. Anyway, so, I laugh at myself because nobody else will. Try it with no finger picks of any kind, no thumb picks, no any kind of picks. Some people use the thumb picks and the whole hybrid thing. If you got it, cool. If not, learn a new style. Okay? Which is the same things we've already been doing. Everything I've been showing you, but just try it without picks. Okay, take a look at my fingers. That's my thumb and my middle finger. That is the lick I already showed you. Let's slap that low E, man. Show who's boss. Nothing gives you that twang. You ain't got a thing if you ain't got that twang. So that is just some cool stuff. All I can say is take the same licks I'm teaching you today and try them. It's a whole new ball game, and it sounds 1,000 times better than a guitar pick as far as I am concerned. If you like them another way, and if you're going to put distortion on them, then play them with a pick. If you're going to blues them out, play them with a pick. But if you're going to play country and you want that twang, that's how you get the twang, by getting rid of that pick thing. Okay, and use it at everything. And don't use that again. I'm going to think for you. Don't use it just like that. Go everywhere with it. Just take it everywhere. If you want to, you can do a cool little thing. I like it. I've taught this before on an acoustic and little G thing. It's just a cool little lick. I'll throw it in again. Why? Because I like it. And we're in E. So B string. Okay. Open, 5, open. Then E string on the 4th fret. And then same thing. Then E string 5. Then same thing. Then E string 7. And that's it. Okay. 4, 5, 7. Everything else is 5th fret on the B string. You want to look cool? Do it all with one finger. Put it anywhere, but it's cool to toss in wherever you see fit. You know where you're going to use it. You may not use it, and if you don't like it, throw it in the trash, but know it's there. Okay, another cool thing, just for fun, since we're right there, take your D chord, Move it up to E. Just a G bender lick from Jimmy Oander, but without the thing. Just simply move your G string. Okay, so you've got a D chord. Now you got an E chord. Okay. I'll find out why this thing's out in a second. Probably still not it, but strings have been on here since before I got it. Okay, so again, okay, while we're here doing the Jimmy Oander stuff, for anybody who remembers him from Diamond Rio, without any bells and whistles, and we're in the key of E. Meet in the middle. If you want a quick bastardized version or not, the licks are cool whether you want to ever play the song or not, but it's in E, so I'll show it to you. So you got low E string. If you have a floating tremolo, forget it, that E's going flat on you. So throw your whammies away and lock them, block them, whatever you got to do. Okay, low E string with your thumb. Okay, just going to the G string, grabbing your E note at your 9th fret, and you're hitting, I'm using 2 fingers because I'm holding a pick here, use whatever you have left, thumb, and then you're going to hit your G string at the 9th fret and your B string open, and you start with your G string pre-bent up a whole step, okay, or a whole tone for my friends across the seas. It's very crucial that you get it directly on. Okay? And then the next little thing is A string 14, D string 14, that's ring and pinky, and G string 11. Okay, yes, you heard me right. 14, 14, 11. Okay, that is thumb, A string, first finger, D string, then whatever finger you have left on the G string, and then picking back up. So A string, D string, G string, which will take it up to looking like an E chord, up a whole step, release it, then hit the D string, then the A string, okay? Okay, guitar's a little out of tune, but hey. Okay, so a definite, quick thing, because he used a G bender, which is hooked to your belt loop, and you pull it out this way. B bender hooked here, and you push down that way. So it's a pedal steel strapped to your body, basically. Okay, so the first one you have E, then 9th fret, full bend, up and back with B string open with it. Then same thing again. Then the one I showed you, it looks like a D chord, just bend the G string up a whole step. And slowly release it. So you have, missed it a little bit, but hey, here we go again. Then same thing. Now we just change everything up a little bit where we go to A. So we have to actually go 5 and 5 on your E and B, and then your G string, same thing. 4 times. All 3 strings, grabbing them at the same time. I'm not using a pick. I'm using this method, the devil horns and the thing. That's the 3 fingers I'm using because, again, I am palming my pick as such. You do it however you have to. That's how I get around that song. So if you do the meet in the middle, meet in the middle, baby. Okay, just cool licks. Use them however you want to. That's how I got around using benders. Okay, let's get some more cool licks in the key of E. I was doing a few things back when I was doing the play that funky music thing, and I'll get those for you. Okay, very simple licks. You probably know them, but it's playing them again without picks. Okay, so play them with picks if you want, play them without. It's just knowing the lick, and you do whatever you want with. Okay. You probably know these, but it sounds so much better, or different, I should say. By doing all this like a bass player, a funk bass player would. Okay, again, this is on the B string, 2 and 4, with my thumb. Now the D string on the 2nd fret, A string 4th, now D string 4th, bending it, and back to 2nd, so a whole step bend towards the floor. So you have okay, 4 and 2, just popping them. Okay, then just 3rd fret with your thumb, quarter or half a step bend, I'm sorry, just from 3rd to 4th. So you got that. That's just open E and then 2nd fret on the D string. It's just one of those licks you hear all the time, and you can do it around. Just go 5, 4, 2, 5, 4, 2. Okay, 5, 4, 2 on the D, 5, 4, 2 on the A, then with your thumb, 3, 2 open. Whatever your little heart desires. Okay? I'm just doing it without picks, and it sounds great, don't it? Okay, so these are all just double stops done with. That one there, the first one you know, because we did it at first. 2 and 3 on your B and E. Next one's just 2 and 2 with your middle finger on your G and B. Now E and G, I'm sorry, B and E string, add the hammer on the G string, 1st fret. Then pop that E note on your D string. That's always kind of a cool thing. Just go back and get some other notes and come back to some of these others. Okay, we did that for earlier. But it just sounds so much cooler like this. instead of picks. So consider that, please. Okay, other cool things. Like I said, I'm just tossing an hour worth of just random E licks at you. Okay, another one. God, let's see. Oh God, you gotta have this one, and I've showed it before. Do it real quick. Okay. And then it just goes right in with everything else. In E, I've shown it in every other key, might as well show it in E. It's no different than everything else, but here it is. Okay, A string, 5th fret. I'm using 3rd fret back here to help with the bend. Okay, 5 bent up to 7. It's a pre-bend. So you put it up to 7, okay, but you're still on 5. Hit it, release it, pull it off to the 3rd fret. Now 5th fret on the B. Flatten it out. 5th fret on the E. Now back to 5th fret on the B. Now we're doing hammer on from 3 to 4 on the E. Okay, so we have okay. Clicks are cool if you're using a pick. Okay, so you know how to mute down here. If not, figure it out. That means lay your hand against it. Every other note, click it. Click it good. I've got some chicken picking stuff right here in the same category if you are on my website. Otherwise, you got 500 videos to dig through on YouTube. So just click the link directly below this video and go right to the country lead guitar section. They're all right there. Go to the chicken picking one and figure out all these other licks because they're there to be taught. Lots of cool stuff like this. Okay, that's the end of this lick. Now, that's simply 5, pull off to 3 on the B, 4 on the G, 5/5 on the B. Okay, now even cooler, same thing without the pick. See how smooth that is? You get to learning how to do something with 3 fingers, little crabby looking thing. Bend those notes. Every note you can bend. And the neck bend. Okay? So bend, 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 do all kinds of cool stuff. These all fit together as one huge solo. Play as much as you can. Again, bastardize them. Don't stick with what I'm doing. These are just suggestions. You make them yours. I'm just tossing you what I play. Again, the world does not need another me, but to have the licks are cool, and then make them yours. Okay? Whatever you like. If you don't like it, make it into something you like. But the ideas are genuinely cool, and you know that from this. Here's a cool little thing that not a lot of people think of for some reason. Just the same basic simple thing of going to the 9th fret, playing the G and the B string. Okay, so you got the low E string. Use the low E string as just some background music while you're practicing this. And to simply practice going from 9 to 7 to 9 with these 2 fingers. Your ring finger or your first finger. 9 and 7 on the B and G string. These are double stops, which simply means playing 2 notes together. If you're doing it with your thumb, of course course it sounds better because I play it more that way, so it's going to sound better because that's what I do. Okay, if you like the sound of that, cool. Now here's where it gets really cool. With the pick I like it too with a little bit of overdrive, but I'm not turning it on. Okay? Okay, what you're doing there is just simply going. You can even go to the 9th fret, and that's a B, but it's part of the E chord. It's just the 5th below. A lot of people might be more comfortable with that and use it because it's viable, it's valid. It might sound cooler than going to the low E string for whatever you're using it for. Okay, so I'll do that instead. Okay, let's go to the neck pickup. Okay, you can already tell how bluesy this thing is going to be. Okay. Okay, so that's 3 times. Going all the way up to the 12th fret, 1st finger, covering the E and the B. Actually cover E, B, and G. Because you're going to hit B and E, because you're playing down, so it's B and E together. Then you're hitting the next 2, so you're going, both of them are down strokes. So you're doing B and E, then G and B. Now you're trying to bend the G towards the floor only a half step, so it will go and just make a regular E chord. Of course, you want to bend the G but not the B, so do the best you can. The B will bend, but it's blues, and it sounds cool that it's slightly out of tune that way. Then round it out by going to the 14th fret on your D string. That's your tonic, or your E again, your root. Okay, same thing, just going up, doing the one thing we did earlier. Just doing it up here. So you're doing 14 and 15. 14B, 15E. Everything I showed you down here is an octave higher, okay? You all know that one. 12, 15 on the B. Hammer on pull off. Same on the E string. Okay, so it's just kind of cool to hit that and then slide up into it. You have the E and the E. Those are all things I showed you an octave below. Bring them an octave above. Think for yourself a little bit. Everything that you play down here, you can play up here. Okay? So again, now let's go to this thing. You got neck and here. It will just simply be a different tone. Why telly people are happy with 2 pickups, I don't know, because here I have 7 different combinations. With a regular telly you can get 3. Just more is better as far as I'm concerned. But if you don't agree, you don't agree. So be it. So now we're back into more of a Stratocaster sound, of course, because that's what we're using. We're using a Strat that's shaped like a telly, but can still do all the things. Here's the regular telly sound. I just flicked the switch, turned on the neck and the bridge together. Just not a sound I've ever been, happy with. Is the telly sound. It's not real inspiring to me. Go to that neck all by itself. Oh, go to these 2 so I can save my argument. Okay, So there you go. And again, what's that? Same thing, the Diamond Rio stuff I showed you earlier. Just doing it up here. All of a sudden you got pedal steel sounding stuff. Imagine that. Okay. And finally, while we're here, God, there's so much other stuff I'd like to show you, but I'll do it another time. Yes, I use old cameras, and they have 1-hour videotapes in them. That's why I always do these 1-hour videos. Another thing in the key of E, which I know I have shown before, but I'm showing it again, which is really quick, but it's using this. I'm going to go to just the regular Strat sound again, so we're back here on these two, just for me. Okay, I'm going to do the little zoomy thing just enough to do this. Okay, this is doing, where we at? 16 and 16. We're skipping the B string for everything. We're doing only G and E string. So thumb, G string, 16th fret, and middle finger, E string, 16th fret. Thumb, now you're skipping the B string, and middle finger. Okay, so thumb, now I'm using my middle finger, and then I'm pulling it off to an open E. Then I'm doing a click on the B with just my first finger. Okay, I'll get some light on the subject. That's right. B and G strings are now clicks. You just lift your fingers off a little bit and click them. Okay. Get used to going thumb, middle, first. Thumb, middle, first. It's a banjo roll. This is already on here. Banjo rolls, and this exact same thing is on another video, but it's in E, and I want to do it again because it is kick-ass. Practice on that on your own time, and stop and pause or whatever, because this is the best lick on here. Now 14 and 14, same thing all the way down the neck. Okay, same exact thing. Thumb, first finger, or I'm sorry, first string. Pull off to open string, then click, click. So you have. Okay, so you're not going to do your thumb except for the first time. I should have pointed that out, so here it is, I'm pointing it out. Everything from here on out will just start with the middle finger. Okay, so then first high E string. So high E string, pull off, click, click. First one you do your thumb, high E string, pull off, click, click. Next string, high E string, pull off, click, click. The next one we reform and do this. Okay, we're doing 13 and 12. G and B. I'm sorry, G and E string. 13 and 12. Same thing. Move the whole thing down now to 11 and 10. Okay, now we're doing, setting ourselves up kind of in an A position. We're doing 9 and 9. Same thing. 7 and 7. 6 and 5. 4 and 4. And now you can, I'm going to zoom out so we can see. 4 and 4. 3 and 3. 2. Okay. Not even that, just the high E string. Now I'm just doing a hammer on from the G string with my thumb. Then E string and B string. Pulling them out at the same time. So. Okay, and you can let a whole bunch of strings ring like that if you want. which here it is more in any tempo. Or you can add all the clicks. Which is the way I taught you with the clicks. Without the clicks, by playing each note. And faster. Okay. Eddie Van Halen also did this on Come On Baby, Finish What You Started, Van Hagar. See. His was more like. Okay, but do the same thing. And also, while we're here, a couple seconds left of this videotape, same thing, just play it forwards. Okay, the other cool thing here is play an E here like we did before. Fingers, fingers, fingers. One thumb first, whatever. All three of them. Now make an E7 out of it. Same technique. Thumb, high E, pull it off. Now B string, G string. Okay. It takes a while to get used to that, but go like this. Okay. Then back one fret. Start with your high E string. Back where you were. It just sounds kind of cool in E. And I like to do a little skip in there. A little hiccup. And do this whole thing going all the way up the neck until you get an octave higher. And do it however you want, but it sounds cool. It's called dissonance. Until you get back up to the E again. Back it up some. Back it up. Beep, beep. That's another one. Just all kinds of cool stuff. So use your brain. Use your brain. That one I have taught also. That's a Dwight Yoakam lick from a song called Please Please Baby. So look that one up. It is very much like Finish What You Started by Van Hagar. You'll get the licks, but that's a cool lick right there. So there you go, just more free stuff in the key of E. A lot of it's been done before, but to show you to play with your fingers, just play around, make the licks again your own. Take what I showed you, make it your own. Turn on your distortion, go metal with it. It's cool. Try the licks. You don't know until you try them. The information's there. They are licks. They are free. Go try them. Put a track on or play with the band or whatever. It does not have to sound country. These are just licks. I'm just playing them country flavored because I'm country. You go do what you do. And again, thanks for somebody telling me to grab out the old ASAT 3. Like I said, I got a few of these puppies. These are not the new ones. These are the at least 20 years old, 25 years old, I think. Great axes. So anyway, enjoy that stuff. And again, bastardize them. Make them your own. That's where you're going to learn stuff and find the best uses for them. Not the way I did them, but start there and then do that voodoo that you do so well. Okay, Vogue. Bye.